Talking about this past Monday's TNA Impact here on Wrestle Dope, and indeed this week we had a recap of RVD winning that title last week. RVD talking all about his relationship with Mother Nature's goodness. What was he talking about? Who knows? But RVD cut a promo with Hulk Hogan in the ring this week on TNA.
Yep, I think this is a good subject to discuss because this is where it was worrying me, where at the start of the promo, he had kind of said he was in TNA, they knew his buzz, literally, and let him get on with these things. Quite unlike up north with Vinnie Mac and being aware of the old Toka Roke. But RVD's saying that, things are cool down here in TNA, I could do my thing, people respect me and people give me my space to do my thing. Continuing on, you hear the 420 chant from the crowd, and it's obvious enough until AJ comes into the picture with his promo, and as clear as day mentions the fact that RVD is basically getting high as fuck all the time, before promos, before matches, and you have to wonder, you have WWE PG, you have TNA, where's the cutoff with the kids? Do you want your kids, from a parent's side of things, watching this going, what's he talking about? What the hell is he on about, Is it too much? And it made me really take notice and kind of go, okay, you can be edgy, you're not PG, but is this a bit much for that demographic?
I think it is a bit much. We had WWE with Playboy promotion going on at one time with an arena full of kids and mothers and daughters and fathers all cheering this stuff. Ashley Mazzaro coming out revealing her magazine cover was certainly something to cheer for, was it? Families? Wholesome entertainment? Not at all, but it looked like the writing was on the wall for WWE PG back then, because they got rid of that Playboy deal. But no, at the end of the day, as I say, Hogan came out to cut that promo, and RVD, a legit worker, and having him with that TNA World Heavyweight belt is a good step forward for the company. It means that those guys are going to have somebody who can probably really sell for them. I mean, I think maybe we might see some old ECW fans coming back to have a look. I mean, I know that the opinion of the product right now, it's been going from bad to good, but I think now it's erring on the good side. I think people are talking about Impact now as if they enjoyed it a bit more.
Yeah, it has been better product. The ratings took a big slump this week with a 0.5 from TNA, and that's a huge nosedive in the wrong direction, certainly for TNA. But going forward, the stuff is in good developmental territory, I think, with Joe and with Lethal too. These guys can bring it that bit more to the product, and now we know that Bubba's gone and the Nasty Boys are gone. You're kind of filtering out the stuff the fans don't want, and I think they're trying to find a nice happy medium. And we all know about that survey that was conducted by TNA to see what it was that the fans wanted. A big marketing survey they carried out this previous week, and quite fascinating stuff. That it was a great read if anyone comes by it or past it or has read it. And for those of you who haven't, you should check it out.
Yes, I did read something about that, and I think it's nice to see that TNA are now, well, they're sort of working, that they're getting in contact with the fans. I mean, I hope that it's all legit. I'm sure it is. I mean, it's probably operated by an independent company, but at the same time, you've got fan work going on. Eric Bischoff talking this week about how he's setting up this top 10 favourite deal. And indeed, I mean, what's that all about? Are we really going to have a say? Are we going to be able to pick who's in the top position in this program? And I think maybe Eric Bischoff taking a step back on his opinions on the internet wrestling community. When he does something like that, I think he knows now that fans are shooting and indeed not happy with Eric's I think, work at the moment. Now, we Had a lot of crowd pops and a lot of old fans coming back, I think, for RVD. Flair and AJ coming out, and hopefully AJ Styles RVD will be replayed a few times, because I think it does deserve a bit of a going. It needs to be on a couple of events. I mean, it was just too quick to give RVD that belt. I know they wanted to sort of push things forward quickly, and maybe they thought it wasn't going fast enough. They needed the sort of star power that RVD brings to the table, and as I say, love how they're playing off that RVD green gimmick. And now Madison Rayne of the Beautiful People has the world title, and now she looks I think a lot better every week. Madison Rayne at the start sort of didn't look on par with the other two girls. I think now she maybe is on par with Velvet, but certainly not Lacey.
Yeah, I think she's very legit and comes across as a good champion. She carries the title well, and she's a good in-ring performer too. I always thought, she never really tried to overdo anything. She's slick in the ring, and she's got that cocky attitude that really gets her over so well, and you almost genuinely feel that hatred for her. But yeah, I think a great person to have the title on, a lot better than some of the other knockouts in the division for sure. Yeah.
Madison Rayne v Tara v Angelina for that women's championship. Madison Rayne coming out on top, with Tara and Angelina left in that ring fighting it out. And I think maybe the real story there is how that Tara v Angelina goes. I mean, I certainly thought maybe Madison Rayne sort of is in that sort of transitional champion territory. I mean, she has been there a while, but let's be honest, there was some other girls there as well who spent a bit of time and they haven't had the belt yet. I mean, has Daphne? I don't think so. So I mean, I know the Beautiful People have been pretty much the Knockouts division for a few months now, but yeah, I mean, let's hand it around a bit. I mean, if you're going to do a lockbox sort of challenge, and that will be how the belt changes hands, and maybe decided a few times in a match, but what can we say now? R-rated stuff. I mean, Velvet literally pulled her skirt up to do that traditional entrance. I mean, like you say, where's the balance? Where's the TV 14 as opposed to the PG 13?
Yeah, it goes just out the window, and a lot of the references are certainly not PG territory with TNA. But again, they're offering the edgier product, and I think it appeals to those of us who have probably watched the product for so many years and want that just a little bit more serious and a little bit more adult direction, as opposed to what WWE appeals in the opposite demographic, right? For the kids downwards. And it's very apparent watching both shows, or sorry, 3 shows, even Smackdown or Raw and Impact. And Impact certainly the edgier one of the 3.
It's amazing to see how far they're pushing it. Flair's got blood on him every week, and thank God for it. No blood in wrestling. Who's ever heard of that? Well, the WWE, they're going to stop a match now if a guy gets a nosebleed. So let's see how those World Heavyweight Championship matches are going to go down in future. I'm sure there'll be a lot of edits on those DVDs, and unfortunately, we're going to have to see paramedics coming in and treating a guy for a cut in his head.
Yeah, and you more than likely will have fans ringing the paramedics, making sure their favourite superstar from the WWE universe hasn't been hurt too bad. For those Ziggler fans out there, you just don't know what you're dealing with, really.
Yeah, when Bret Hart got apparently knocked down backstage, we found out later it was more than just a work, it was a John Cena work. And yeah, I think people rang the ambulance number on the back of that, what do they call those in America?
Paramedics.
The paramedics, indeed. So we had Madison Rayne in there, and of course news of Tara apparently leaving the company soon. A lot of speculation on that this week. I mean, Tara as Victoria had a very long run in WWE, and indeed going to TNA was a nice, refreshing sort of gimmick for her. But maybe now she's going to do that long talked about MMA appearance.